led by Elyria Police right here at the very start, and followed by the fire truck unit as the parade enters downtown Elyria. I wonder where the tail end of it is. You think they've all stepped off yet?
I would think so at this point. This is quite the parade route, so there's quite a bit of distance between here and Elyria Catholic. I'm thinking everybody's on their way, in motion, in some way, shape, or form, including our own Bruce Van Dyke from WEOL.
Oh, yeah. And I tell you what, moving rather quickly here, we have the Elyria Fire Department, Tower number 8, the ladder truck. Several firefighters on board waving to the audience. We have the color guard approaching as they turn from Broad Street onto Middle Avenue. And Matt, are you ready?
I am ready.
Because the Clydesdale horses and Mayor Holly Brenda are about to turn onto Middle Avenue.
Sure. What a nice way to start the parade, though, with the firefighters, with the color guard as well, as they step by here. And of course, as you mentioned, you've got the Clydesdales pulling the mayor. You can't ask for a better start to a parade than that right there.
You know, one thing about these Clydesdales, once upon a time, they were bred as smaller horses. It wasn't until some decades ago they were bred to be a larger horse, and they certainly are now. And there is the mayor on board celebrating 200 years behind 6 massive Clydesdale horses.
They're pulling that trailer, no problem. You and I talked about the parade might only move as fast as they are. Seems like they're moving pretty steadily.
Oh, they've got some pep in their step today, no doubt about that. As another large military vehicle pulls onto Middle Avenue. We have several here, and different current day military vehicles.
Some veterans on there as well, waving out. Vietnam veterans standing in front.
Getting a nice response from the crowds. We have at least 3 of those vehicles with the veterans here. A large military truck followed by a pickup truck and one of those Humvees that you might have seen in the Gulf War.
U.S. Army represented very strongly here at the beginning of this parade. You mentioned that Humvee painted with that desert camo. Just amazing what these things can go through, Craig. I have a brother who's in the Army who was in one. Explosive went off near him, kept him completely safe.
The Lorain County Historical Society is moving by now. It's their Civil War cannon that was in operation between 1861 and 1865. Wow. Large wheels, probably 4 feet, I'm guessing, maybe 5.
Sure, a little bit of a blast from the past. When you see those things, I always imagine what it must have been like to be pulling those along the battlefields. It's crazy what they had to endure.
Also now we have the Elyria Police Department Honor Guard moving through. 5 gentlemen, 3 with flags, 2 with rifles, dressed in their best blue. Followed by the Lorain County Sheriff's vehicle. And maybe you can hear in the background, here they come, the award-winning Elyria Pioneer Marching Band.
Led by their drum majors. Craig always loved seeing the drum majors at work. Right now they're leading the band, but they practice hard, they practice heavy, and they are some of the best drum majors you're going to see at the high school level.
High School Pioneer Marching Band. They were asked, as were other bands today, Matt, to wear their full uniforms, and so officials hope for a little cooler weather, and that's what we've got today.
They did indeed. Pixie sticks, the choice of candy being thrown out as they've got the drums set up in the truck behind them.
Now we're looking at the Lady Pioneers, the softball state champs, getting nice applause as they go by. 3 truckloads of them.
What a game they played in earlier this spring. Came all the way down to the final inning. Bottom of the 7th, they scored 2 runs to win that state title. They carry that trophy proudly there in the front vehicle, as they should.
Now we have other members of the Elyria schools, teachers, administrators, parents, some children, one with a red balloon,
sure,
appropriate.
Bright colors there. They got the school bus behind them as well.
Yep. Amy Higgins from Elyria City Schools going by with her daughter.
Superintendent Tom Java right behind here.
Followed by a school bus.
You got to give the Elyria folks some credit.
Right.
Not many people on the school bus. They all opted to walk the parade route here today.
That's right. They had the option.
Well,
The Elyria schools, bright minds, bright futures. 200 years of school, the Elyria Pioneers. Followed now by a pickup truck pulling a float. Happy birthday, Elyria. Members of Elyria City Council on board and also walking behind. Respect the past, embrace the future. As we now move on to the Elyria Apple Festival, people with a banner going by, 4 of them. Last year's Queen, Emmy Wysocki, in a white Mercedes-Benz convertible. Not a bad ride for a parade, man.
not at all, especially for a youngster like herself. She's got that parade wave and everything down.
University Hospitals, Elyria Medical Center, founded long time ago, more than 100 years. Been here more than half of the city's existence.
Maybe one of the neater floats we've seen thus far is they have somebody in a hospital bed waving out there.
We've got Boy Scouts going by. More University Hospitals vehicles going by.
Getting some shout outs here from the folks at University Hospitals saying hi as they walk by.
It's nice to see some units in the parade getting a hand from the people in the audience here along the parade route. That's nice.
Yeah.
Now we move on to the Elyria Arts Council, located just down the road here on Broad Street, and they are responsible for reviving the arts culture in town, and also, you know, they're doing the murals, Matt, on the sides of those 2 buildings.
Yeah, they've got, you can tell, they're an arts council. Here's, we take a look at them. They've got the paintbrushes in the truck, some big Crayola crayons. Nice little move there with the truck.
Yep, and they're working on a 3rd wall now. Not quite done with it, but over by Susan L. So they've got, you know, they're doing their work. They hope to get more and more people interested in the arts in downtown Elyria. And tell you what, there's a little lull in the action here, so we're going to take a real quick break as our parade coverage continues on AM 930 WEOL. And a good morning, I'm Craig Adams.
I'm Matt Douglas.
And I'm not sure if we're going to see or hear 76 trombones today, but if you add them up between the different marching bands, I think we just might.
Just thinking that same thing. As we've seen the Elyria group, we've got Midview still to come. Open Doors marching band going to be in the parade as well.
Coming up next, we have the Lake Ridge Legacy Chorus as they make their way through. They're moving a little slowly, and here's why, Matt. They're pulling a kind of a flatbed float, and they have 4 women on the back who I think are occasionally stopping to sing barbershop.
I like it.
So they're celebrating their time. More barbershop singers in the car, and they are singing. There you go.
Nice little tune there.
Followed by Dance Elyria, the YWCA, offering a wide selection of courses for the very young all the way up. And they've been doing that for a mighty long time as well.
Good group they've got here with them, too, just to show you it's for a little bit of everyone. They've got the older folks walking through here, or the older experienced dancers, along with some of the younger ones, too, waving their hands.
Greg Willie from the Friendship APL going by. They have had a couple dogs in the parade this morning. You can also like the Elyria YWCA Youth Dance Program. You can like them on Facebook. Check out their website for more info.
Someone just walking by with a sign there that said classes start in September if you're thinking about enrolling someone in a class.
Coming around the corner now from Broad Street to Middle Avenue is a, must be a John Deere tractor.
Lorain County Metro Parks being represented here.
Yep. Waving to the crowd. Of course, they've recently taken over operations, maintenance of Cascade Park. Okay. They've done a lot of work so far with more to come.
A lot of folks looking forward to the completion of that project.
Here comes the Kiwanis Club. And we have a gentleman up front who looks like Uncle Sam. It's all about the kids, they say, and they do. Take care of the kids.
They do indeed.
They raise a lot of money.
Taking care of them here today, too, with the candy being thrown out.
Yep. Somebody's making balloons. I don't know where that came from. Oh, it came from them. It came from the Kiwanis. Amazing balloon.
Yeah.
You know, bubbles, I mean. Bubbles.
That's somebody who's trained in the art of bubble making.
Oh, yeah.
Right, those are some big bubbles.
Lorain County Community College here on the march now. Members of different organizations on campus. It's been a busy morning here, Matt.
Yeah, no kidding.
As groups come through, they come through at a pretty quick pace.
I was thinking the exact same thing. This isn't a parade for the slowpokes here. They are moving quickly through the parade route. And it comes to an end just down the road at Elyria High School.
Right.
So the end's in sight for the folks coming through right now.
Okay, we have several more groups, student groups represented from Lorain County Community College. Some of the groups, Matt, are spread out more distance in between than others. So it kind of, you know, there's a little lull every now and then.
Nice to see the different groups represented, though, too, as they walk through. Some of the things you can join if you are a student at LCCC.
Right. And different programs they offer, including students in recovery. Proud to be out here this morning.
Sure.
To share their stories and their efforts.
Well, letting the folks know they're not alone if there's somebody out there who's contemplating some decisions in their life. LCCC, boy, they brought quite a few people with them here, Craig.
Yes, they did. We have the Honor Society coming, several members of the college's Honor Society, as they share a banner and turn on to Middle Avenue. Coming up shortly, we should have members from the Cincinnati Circus and Dot Diamond Core Drilling. And when I learned more about Dot Diamond Core Drilling, I did not know that not only have they been in business for, I want to say 40-some years, but they've done some amazing work on some amazing projects, and hopefully we can talk about that when they get a little closer.
American Society for Microbiology coming up here with LCCC. I'm not even sure I know what that means, Craig. These are some smart folks coming through.
Well, I can tell you what, they offer so many new programs. There are so many high-tech programs at the college. And, of course, you've got the university partnership, 12 or 13 different colleges partnering with LCCC so students can get advanced degrees at the college.
You mentioned more than 15,000 students, and you mentioned those partnering, 3,000 students taking university partnership courses, earning bachelor's and master's degrees through LCCC.
Coming up now is the Thrive Club from the college, followed by the Student Business Club. They are well represented here today, Lorain County Community College.
They are indeed. Lots of students showing their pride in the school, too, and letting you know that, hey, if you're thinking about that degree, there's no reason you shouldn't think about a place like LCCC.
Looks like the Psi Beta Honor Society about to make the turn as well from the college.
Greg, the average age of an LCCC degree-seeking student, 26 years old.
Well, you know, they've often talked about how a lot of people go back to college for other degrees. Maybe they've had a change in their life. Could be job, you know, downsizing, whatever.
Yeah.
They go back and they start over, and it's a great place to go to do that.
It is indeed. Big facility, great facility. We've been there a number of times for the different events that they hold there at LCCC as well.
Okay, here we go. We've got the Cincinnati Circus coming. And did you know, Matt, that we at the radio station could hire these people to come and be, they could do some team building exercises for us.
Can they? I'd believe it. Looking at what they're doing right now, right out in front is a man with a unicycle. Most people probably think he's riding it. That's not the case. For those listening at home, he was balancing it on his chin. Now he is back on, is riding it, wearing the sort of IU striped pants there, the warm-up pants that you typically see the IU basketball team. We may see some fire here, Craig.
Well, I hope so. And I tell you what, I see, we heard about the living statue of Heman Ely,
yes,
the founder.
Yes.
Well, here he comes.
Here he comes indeed, right behind the fire walker and a man who's about to set fire to some of those torches.
He's good as gold, right?
I mean, he is indeed. I like that. He is in the gold paint, the gold suit, Heman Ely, pardon me. Now you get the jugglers on the unicycles as well, the stilt walkers, the giant bike, and the hula hoopers. Rounding things out for the Cincinnati Circus.
All right, there they go.
Some impressive moves there with the hula hoop. It looks like I should be able to do that, Craig, but I assure you I would not be able to.
Coming up next, dot diamond drilling. Concrete cutting specialists, core drilling, wall sawing, slab sawing, highway grooving and grinding. They've been here since 1974 with offices also in Cincinnati and Washington, D.C. Among the projects they have worked on, Jacobs Field, Gund Arena, Tower City, the Pentagon, and the White House.
You might have heard a few of those places.
Yeah, not a bad gig, right?
Nope, not at all. I like the float they've got, too. The big cake on there celebrating the 200 years.
All right, here we go. We've got the
Marching Blue from Midview High School coming out full strong.
Turn up there, Mike, a little bit.
Hear the drum corps in the background there. The band director at Midview High School, representing very well here. They've got their 4th annual Midview Parade of Bands. That will be Saturday, September 23rd. Of course, a big marching band competition here for bands in the SWC and other conferences throughout there. It's not just high school sports, high school band getting started with their season now.
We have another float coming by. This is pulled by a tractor, a flatbed with a number of American flags on top.
A classic tractor there. Some folks will tell you they just don't make them like they used to. That thing looks like it could pull a ton there.
Yep. A couple more tractors going by. An old wheel horse, which has got a shovel on the front to get snow out of the way.
More tractors. Ooh, I like the little, what do you call those? The little wind direction teller? I don't think that's official, but it's an orange tractor that's wheels are moving as the wind goes by.
Alice Chalmers. There we go. And some old machines from Bendix, Westinghouse, and Colson Manufacturing at the back. The fan favorite, Ronald McDonald, going by now. Of course, the new McDonald's just opened up not long ago down here at Broad and West.
Yeah, 595 Broad Street. And, of course, they're down a little further on East Broad Street. A couple places you can stop in Elyria. The Hamburglar is out and about, but it doesn't look like he's stealing any hamburgers right now.
No, but we've got somebody dressed as a coffee cup, and I kind of like it.
That could be the newest character in the McDonald's series.
How about that?
Ooh, a minion here in the back of the McDonald's van that's going through.
Look at that minion.
They have taken over. They've become the big new thing. And I can't blame them because, frankly, I think the Minions may be one of the greatest creations.
You're listening to coverage of the Elyria Bicentennial Parade here on AM 930 WEOL. Craig Adams along with Matt Douglas, and making the turn now from Broad Street on to Middle Avenue. Elyria Moose Lodge 778, established back in 1911. And Matt, one of their causes, Special Olympics.
Indeed it is, raising money for the Special Olympics, one of those groups that does quite a bit for charities throughout the cities that they're in, and they've been around for quite some time. The Fraternal Service Organization was founded back in 1888. Now that's all the Moose Lodges.
And with that, Matt, I think we'll take a timeout here.
Sounds good.
Another lull in the action between parade participants. So our coverage will continue momentarily here on AM 930. Good morning, everyone. I'm Craig Adams.
I'm Matt Douglas.
And Matt, I think we'll let the drums go for a second. You are listening to coverage of the Elyria Bicentennial Parade on AM 930. And it's brought to you by City of Elyria Wastewater Pollution Control. Grass clippings, food wrappers, and other forms of litter in the roadway, along with anything dumped into the storm drains, empty into the Black River. Please don't litter.
Vandermark Jewelers on East Broad Street in Elyria near the hospital. Jim Vandermark has been in the jewelry business for over 35 years. Vandermark, a trusted name in jewelry.
And by Dempsey's Appliance, 438 Overland Road in Elyria. Bob and Paula Dempsey are proud supporters of the community. They've been here for 43 years. See Dempsey's for appliance parts and expert in-shop service.
And of course by the Elyria Schools, ensuring each child reaches his and her full potential. After the Elyria Grand Bicentennial Parade, join Elyria Schools in Ely Square for a recognition ceremony and celebration of the state champion girls softball team.
What a morning it has been already, Matt. We've got about what would you say, about 40, at least 40 units have gone by already?
Yeah, they've been going through this one pretty quick. You mentioned we just saw the drum corps there for the Elyria drummers and batoners, and now it just keeps on moving.
Right now we have Cleveland Clinic going by, and it looks like they put the call out to their volunteer network. They are here today in full force following a Cleveland Clinic ban.
Throwing out the candy as well, sporting the all blue shirts. Pushing a few of the kids along the route as well. They've got the wagons out. They've got a young little Spider-Man coming through on his two-wheel bike. I like that Spider-Man helmet. I'm going to have to see if I can't find myself one.
You know, Matt, we do have in-depth team coverage today. We are not only broadcasting the parade live on the radio, history in the making, I guess they would say.
It is.
But our own Bruce Van Dyke is in the parade, and let's go live to him now for an update. Bruce, what's going on?
Well, Craig, as you said, I am in the parade. I'm near the back end. In fact, we just stepped off probably about 4 or 5 minutes ago. So that gives you the length of the parade. And from a unique perspective where I was able to watch the entire parade unfold in front of me as they came out of Northwood and then from Elyria Catholic. So I've already seen the parade that is coming your way on Ely Square. You'll have a lot to look forward to. People in the parade where I'm at, if I slow down, it doesn't matter because I have a snow plow behind me. So the WEOL van will get a free ride whether I'm driving or not. You want to make sure when you keep an eye out for all the classic cars near the part of the parade in front of us. 8 classic cars. Not quite spanning 200 years, but I would say probably at least 100 years of vehicles represented here in the parade this morning, Craig.
Hey, Bruce, do you have enough gas? Do you have enough gas to make it through?
We were above 3/4 of a tank is where I'm at right now, and wisely I did not start the car until the parade was moving. So I'm okay. I'm ready to go. Again, if I run out of gas, I'll put it in neutral, and the city's snowplow will push us the rest of the way. We are still on Gulf Road right now, coming through as people are coming out for the candy that's being dispensed from many of the vehicles around us. The guy in front of us has a good over-the-hand toss out the window. He's the passenger, and he's able to throw it over to the driver's side. So I'm leaving it to the professionals to toss the candy this morning. I'm just waving and reporting from the fair and seeing all of our listeners who've lined the parade route.
You know, we have a nice turnout here on Middle Avenue. Every space is covered, you know, as far as I can see. Then you've got a second row in some areas. What's the response over there where you are?
Still the same. On the 4-lane road here, Gulf, people have plotted themselves down. All the chairs have brought out, and they're just enjoying a nice sunny day of parade. Of course, Gulf Road lined with American flags and the bicentennial banners, so it's all a nice backdrop for this beautiful day for the parade.
All right, thank you, Bruce. Feel free to check in later if you've got anything new to report.
I will do that, and be on the lookout for the guy on the giant tricycle on stilts. That's all I'll say.
Tricycle on stilts.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this.
I wonder, Bruce, was he part of the Cincinnati Circus?
I think it's part of the circus.
Yeah, they were amazing. Jugglers and stilt walkers.
They had everything.
And then there's a young group of girls who are look like they're sort of cheerleaders. They've got blue outfits with gold pom-poms. They were full of energy. I want to see how much energy they have by the time they make it to the square.
Okay. Now, thank you, Bruce. We've got the Vintage Motorcycle Club going by, driving some Cushmans and other vehicles. That looks pretty cool, man.
Yeah, the vintage motor scooters. Can't say much other than the fact that these are some old school scooters they've got going on right here.
There's pretty much only room for one on there, although I guess on the first one you could put a second person, but
yeah,
I don't know.
They got some room there.
Yeah.
I'm doing a good job working the streets here, too.
Yep.
These things slow down a little bit in front of them. They're utilizing all the road that they've got as they swing around.
As different groups continue to toss a little bit of candy, especially to the kids here who are lining Middle Avenue. again. I'm Craig Adams.
I'm Matt Douglas.
And we are both attempting to shoot video simultaneously. I don't know whose will be better because we've got Mr. D's Karate Academy, and they stopped here on Ely Square to put on a demonstration for us. And we're talking about, Matt, people who are, I don't know what, 6 years old and up?
Yeah, they've got karate classes for people of all ages, and if you're looking to get into the karate classes, one of the unique things about them is they don't teach one form of karate. They go ahead and they teach you 3 different forms of karate. So you're going to learn a lot when you go through Mr. D's. In fact, they've got a show coming up, I believe it's in March, that will display some of their grappling techniques for the younger kids.
Coming up next, Mr. Homer Burden, leading the contingent from Lorraine Metropolitan Housing Authority. A frequent guest on our morning show here. They've got a nice float, red, white, and black. Folks from Elyria on board, tossing candy to the crowd as well. Followed by one of their vans.
Of course, they've got housing units ranging in size from efficiency to 6 bedrooms located throughout Lorain County, including accessible units.
The Elyria unit of the NAACP is represented today with President D. Tolbert riding in the parade.
Nice vehicles they've got represented here today.
Chevy Camaro convertible and a nice pickup truck as well. Here we go now, Black River Archery, the indoor shooting range in Elyria. I don't know if I should call those things bows and arrows because that doesn't do them justice.
No, not everything that goes into them. They've got all the bells and whistles on top of these things.
I've never seen anything like some of these. It's just amazing.
Yeah, they've got the weights out front, too, to balance. I believe that's used more for the competition aspect of things. Not 100% sure on that, but that allows you to aim just a little bit heavier, gives you that offset weight up front.
And what's nice about this is they can practice their skills year-round. They don't have to wait for good weather because they can do it indoors.
And then one of those things, though, I suppose when you go to competitions, at least any time I've seen it in the Olympics, they're always outdoors. So it's going to be one of those things as they compete. You got to practice outdoors as well as indoors, I think.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you can start to hear in the background, we have the Elyria Alumni Band. So we've got about half a dozen bands here today, at least 3 high school bands, and then you get into alumni players. And from what I've heard so far from a distance, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They still know how to do it.
Right now, right behind the Black River Archery Club, they've got the drum majors, the alumni drum majors here putting on a show for the fans.
And you know, a number of those people have gone on to be the lead at Ohio State.
That's what I've heard, and you can tell, again, when you see the high school kids doing it, it's amazing. When you see these gentlemen here who are putting on the show for the fans, not many drops here at all. And
look at that.
Yeah, right between the legs. Through
backwards.
Through that about 16, 17 feet, maybe even further into the air, caught it backwards, no look. I don't know how they do it.
Unbelievable. So here we go. We'll crank up the Elyria High School Alumni Marching Band.
Wow, just bounced that one off the street. Concrete here. They're bouncing it off the street, catching it in the air. First hops, second hops.
Hear that 2 or 3 times in a parade. It's still inspiring.
Yeah, heck of a fight song. Like that one there by the Elyria Band, and I have to give those guys credit. That's the alumni band staying with their instruments. The big tuba player, I always thought that was one of the most fascinating instruments.
Yep. Coming around the corner now from Broad Street onto Middle Avenue, the Elyria Constellation Schools. Constellation, the Elyria Community School. Administrators, teachers, students on board today.
First chartered high school west of the Allegheny in the 1800s. like the float.
Followed by Elyria Community Elementary, the Brownie Brigade.
Nice little float there with the green and yellow colors. They're throwing out the candy for the kids as well.
Elyria Public Library System following. One of our good buddies who we've seen on the morning show, Adam Matthews, in the parade.
Pretty strong float from them as well.
Followed by their new, relatively new bookmobile. It doesn't look like a lot of the older bookmobiles. I remember when they got this one a couple of years ago. Good-sized vehicle. Imagine the possibilities. That thing's going to be on the road for a lot of years to come.
Yeah, it looks pretty sturdy, and I remember as a kid, it would come into my school, and I always thought that was one of the greatest feelings.
We've got the Ghostbusters here.
Yep, the Northeast Ohio Ghostbusters. They do a lot of charity work. You can call them up if you're looking for someone to represent. And of course, they look just like the movies, Egon and Dr. Peter Bankman. They've got all the looks here with all the equipment to go with it. So if you've got any ghosts, Craig, you could probably also call them up. They might be able to help.
Or you can hop on a bike and get out of town. Thanks to Bike Elyria, they are here today, represented by Ed Stewart and his group that's expanding, offering organized bike rides through Elyria several times during the year.
Right behind them, the Open Door Christian Schools, the Patriots. I got to say, I love these uniforms that they sport here today. They've got the three-cornered hat along with that old sort of revolutionary gear that they sport as they march down the street.
Also in today's parade, Matt, a number of churches here in Elyria represented. And this might be the first one we've seen. St. Mary Parish and School, 320 Middle Avenue. They've got a float. And teachers walking by as well.
A lot of the historical views there posted on the float as well. Very neat look of Elyria, downtown Elyria from back in the day.
You're listening to coverage of the Bicentennial Parade for the city of Elyria on AM 930 WEOL. He's Matt Douglas. I'm Craig Adams. We'll take a timeout and come back with more here on AM 930.
Excuse me. Was I in your way? No, that's okay.
Thank you so much. Sorry. I know you were trying to get the candy, honey, but this is fun. Oh, damn. Hey. Where you doing, sir? Hey, man. Hey, how you doing? Hey.
Welcome back to coverage of the Elyria Bicentennial Parade on AM 930. I'm Craig Adams.
I'm Matt Douglas.
This report is brought to you by the Elyria Schools, ensuring each child reaches his or her full potential. after the Elyria Grand Bicentennial Parade. Join Elyria schools in Neely Square for a recognition ceremony and celebration of the state champion Lady Pioneers of Elyria High School.
And Dempsey's Appliance 433 Overland Road in Elyria. Bob and Paula Dempsey are proud supporters of the community. They've been here for 43 years. See Dempsey's for appliance parts and experts in shop service.
Also by Vandemark Jewelers on East Broad Street in Elyria near the hospital. Jim Vandemark has been in the jewelry business for more than 35 years. Vandemark, a trusted name in jewelry. And by the City of Elyria Wastewater Pollution Control. Grass clippings, food wrappers, and other forms of litter in the roadway, along with anything dumped into the storm drains, empty into the Black River. Please, don't litter. Well, Matt, we see some different church groups going by. In fact, somebody just went by singing live, God Bless the USA.
Yeah, if you didn't hear that, one of the more unique floats we've seen in this, I believe that was the LaPorte United Methodist Church. And they had somebody up there with the Statue of Liberty they had put up.
Save Our Children is going by right now, followed by Elyria Teens Achieve Success.
Elyria, obviously, represented very strong here today, but the
Stacy Starr, teacher, one of the leaders here. Followed by the Knights of Columbus, Council 774.
Over 60 members in the group there. Creation of the Knights of Columbus was back in New Haven, Connecticut, back in the 1800s, 1882, that group was founded.
Matt Douglas, Craig Adams here. We are coming to you live this morning as we celebrate Elyria's 200th anniversary. We are at the corner of Broad and Middle as the parade participants kind of do that little jog coming up Washington Avenue onto Broad for maybe 100 feet and then onto Middle Avenue. 129 units in the parade as of yesterday afternoon. That's a pretty good response, Matt.
Yeah, they've certainly got a number of people out here, again, representing the city of Elyria, folks coming from outside of Elyria to be here as well. And now walking by Miss Darcy's Dance Academy of Dance and Art. And Miss Darcy has been teaching, performing visual arts for 24 years through the dance school. Love for dance began at a very young age growing up in Southern Ohio.
And they say dance and art for everyone.
Indeed. We see him breaking a move out here in the middle of the street. Short-lived, but it was good.
Moving on to Middle Avenue now. We have a tractor pulling a flatbed with a miniature house on board. This is the Lorain County Association of Realtors. Some of their folks we know flinging candy at us. I think the kids are going to get it before we do. Although, you know, you can get it later.
Well, they've got the upper hand on us, yeah. We'll have to clean up whatever may come out a little bit later. Or may get by the kids a little bit later. Some superheroes.
Superheroes have arrived. Here we go.
The Avengers on hand.
Oh, my.
Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man himself.
Right. And I'm thinking, too, we also have... who would that be?
Iron Man on the back of that.
Right.
Black Widow.
Black Widow, there you go.
Yeah, sorry. Deadpool being represented here on the next vehicle that goes by. Spider-Man and Batgirl. She's got a movie coming out here before too long. Supergirl, of course, with her own TV show. And Deadpool's got a sequel coming out.
Moving on to Middle Avenue now, we have a van presented by the American Red Cross.
Throwing out candy as well.
An agency that helps out a lot of people when they need it the most.
Looks like some bags have been snatched up by some of the children here. Somebody giving them away during the parade. That's a good move. They picked those up. Now they've got something for the candy.
Up next, Powerhouse Gym.
In Elyria, the Mini Pioneers, representing football, youth football, and cheerleading in Elyria. I like the chant. A lot of pride for their school system.
Now we take a look at the Lupus Foundation. You may have lupus, but lupus doesn't have you. Find out more about them at their website.
Nice little float for them as well, with the turquoise ribbon on the back, and candy being thrown out left and right. Good crowd on hand, still watching.
Coming up next, the Ballroom Dance Place. Ballroom Dance, 333 Broad Street in Elyria.
Ever get into the ballroom dancing?
No.
Well, maybe somebody or Bruce Van Dyke wants to talk to after
Well,
this one completes.
maybe so. I'm thinking you got to start somewhere.
Sure.
That could lead to an appearance on Dancing with the
It
Stars.
very well could be, and if anyone knows his ballroom dancing, it's Bruce Van Dyke.
Inside Out Pilates. Have you ever taken any yoga or Pilates?
I have not done that. I've heard it's very hard, and I usually stay away from things that hurt me.
I've done a hybrid.
Yeah, have you?
Of yoga and Pilates. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Pilates, I'm not sure, but Inside Out Pilates is one place you can check it out. Another one coming up, the Nausea Foundation, promoting gun awareness and safety for our children.
Yeah, the foundation promotes gun awareness and safety, as you mentioned. Rhonda Washington, started the organization to commemorate her granddaughter, Najee Boone, who was killed at the age of 8 when a firearm accidentally went off, killing her. Every year, too, they give away some money to a lucky student in Lorain County who, for prom, give them a little bit of a push that way. Dresses, tuxes, things of that nature.
Again, we're here at Middle Avenue and Broad Street. A nice crowd out here today. Really not an empty space down Middle Avenue. Several deep up on the curb and on the sidewalk, so they get a better view of the parade. And we will take a time out and come back with more as we celebrate with the city of Elyria 200 years. You're listening to coverage of the Bicentennial Parade on AM 930 WEOL.
Oh my God! Did you see that baby dog? I saw that Gina though. Yep.
Sign up for fall class.
Coming, all right.
Well, Matt, Little League Baseball is the focus of what we have here, and we're talking District 3 champions for 2017. How about that?
That time of year, season rounding down. Congratulations, District 3 championships. Not an easy task to come away with that trophy.
Easter Seals of Northern Ohio represented here today in the Bicentennial Parade with their banner. Of course, Easter Seals founded here many, many years ago. Still a nice-sized crowd here on Ely Square. I don't know that anybody's left. More and more people are coming. And I wonder, too, Matt, the parade disperses down at Elyria High School.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if a number of people are simply, coming back here.
I'm going to guess that's right, because we had spoken about the Apple Festival Queen. I see her just across the way, hanging out with some fans, and I think that is what's happening. Folks are leaving and coming down.
So it gives those people an opportunity to see the parade here. Of course, remember at 12:30, that's kind of a floating start, but at 12:30 there will be the ceremony on Ely Square. Some proclamations from Mayor Brenda and some honors for the state champion softball team and wrestlers.
Yeah, and of course a tremendous sports season this year for Elyria High School, and they won the state championship in softball in fascinating fashion. All the way into the bottom of the 7th, they trailed by a run, ended up scoring 2 to win the championship with 2 outs left in that inning, and big congratulations to them. And then of course the wrestling program, which has been, well, really just tremendous over the last few seasons, sending just about everyone on the team to state. 3 players coming away with state championships.
What an amazing program.
Yeah, it really
that's
is.
Simply incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing what's going on with Elyria Wrestling right now. As far as in Northeast Ohio, they're one of the premier programs.
Coming up next, we're still sort of in the Easter Seals procession, part of it. They are followed by the Greater Elyria Soccer Association. We've got a lot of kids here walking today with their parents, coaches.
Sure, we had the OHSAA's Tim Street on the afternoon show not too long ago, I think just last week on Bullseye in the afternoon, talking about the growth of soccer and not just the United States, but in the Cleveland area as well. As you may not know it, but the Gold Cup was actually held over at First Energy Stadium. The United States took on Panama over there. Good crowd on hand for that one, and it seems like every year a little more excitement in the state of Ohio. Of course, they're represented professionally in the MLS by the Columbus Crew. Down in Cincinnati, they've got a NPSL team, I believe it is, that draws very well. So it's coming to Northern Ohio. Get ready, folks.
Coming up next, Horizon Education Centers, represented with a van and a float. We see kind of what I imagine is an old schoolhouse that's red.
Yes.
Some giant pencils.
Yeah, there's a few youngsters on the back of it too, waving at us, that have been created by the art team there.
Yeah. Horizon Education Centers, the future of childcare.
It's always the creativity, I think, that always draws my eye. They've got a few crayons on the back that were created from the, it looks like the foam noodles, crayons and pencils that you see in the pool swimming around, Lego blocks made of boxes.
All different colors, yellow, blue, green, red.
Very impressive. I do not have that talent.
Coming up next, members of the Elyria Democratic Party, along with the Central Committee. Judy Nedwick, Lorain County Recorder, in the red pickup truck. Now we've got a huge John Deere tractor. This is no, pull your golf cart kind of thing. This thing is huge, with a float on the back from Schuster's, Don Schuster's on Murray Ridge Road. Great display here today. Pumpkins, flowers.
Oh boy.
Hay bales. I wonder if those pumpkins have been grown locally. I don't know that it's pumpkin season yet.
Not quite yet.
But they look good.
They look very good, but it's hard to believe that pumpkin season is right around the corner here, Craig. Just a month or two, we're going to be out in those pumpkin patches.
I can't believe it.
That's crazy.
Don Schuster's greenhouse passing by. Now, there must be tractor wars going on, because here comes Grove Fruit Farm, and they have an even bigger tractor.
They do, and it's a New Holland. So countering that John Deere with the blue New Holland. I always like the New Holland tractor. I just like the color blue. Perhaps that's the reason why. They got the apple orchard represented on the float.
Right.
Nothing better, especially come fall time, is we're starting to bring that up here, to me, than a candy apple. That is one of the premier things about fall.
Grove Fruit Farm has been in the family for 6 generations. They focused more on fruit recently and sweet corn, and they are on the move, serving Elyria since 1905.
That's crazy.
6 generations, the Grove Fruit Farm.
And we know some of these people coming around the corner here.
We sure do, and they're wearing, well, shirts that look like ours.
They
A little
indeed they
different.
are.
The Chronicle Telegram.
Lisa Roberson, one of the Chronicle Telegram reporters there. Had her as a guest on Bullseye in the afternoon. And my understanding, we're going to be having her a lot more coming up on a featured segment before too long.
Very good. Well, if the Chronicle Telegram is there, our Bruce Van Dyke can't be too far behind.
He's got to be right behind him as we start to see the antique cars he was talking about, telling us about. There's Boone Simpson.
We should have a nice selection here. Oh, here they come. Look at these cars.
Wow. You talk about classic. I mean, these are those. This is just after the cranking period.
Right.
Here.
This is actually the Model A team, the A team.
Okay. I like
featuring Fords that were built between 1928 and 1931.
Man.
Basically a four-seater.
Canvas top.
Right. No side windows.
Nope, the spokes on the wheels.
First one is black over tan. This one's black over black.
Black interior as well.
Yep, gold wheels, the rims.
Of the windshield that can be slide down too, so you don't have to necessarily have that in front of you.
Here's a car I'd like to get my hands on. This is a Studebaker.
Very nice.
You don't see a whole lot of them. I'm guessing, I don't have it here, I'm guessing 1957.
Be a good guess.
Followed by an Olds Delta 88. And I'm going about 1976 or so on that one.
Looks like a 70s era car.
Nice red Corvette here, little red Corvette.
Never can go wrong with a Corvette.
Let's get a little, now we've got the Steel Survivors coming by. Steel Survivors, a motorcycle group. They've got their Harleys, and I think we'll hear them in a minute, if we don't already. A lot of these guys used to work at the steel mill. Now they do a lot of charity work. Honored this year by the Community Foundation of Lorain County.
Very cool to hear. And these, we talked about them being former steel workers. Those guys represent steel workers right there. I starting to see Bruce Van Dyke coming up here.
Oh my. I didn't know if we'd get him in today, but
I wasn't sure.
We couldn't leave before Bruce went by.
No. I mentioned he's got the plow behind him as well in case he runs out of gas. That can push him.
Bruce Van Dyke making the turn onto Middle Avenue. Matt, can you take a picture?
I can try if he doesn't move too fast here.
I know, he's moving along
He
here.
is moving.
He's got to stop for us here because everybody else is. I hope he hasn't bumped into anybody on the road yet.
I think he's done all right.
He looks good, all right.
Trying to give us a wave. My camera is not working right now, so we're running into issues. We're going to get it. We're going to get it.
Don't go anywhere.
All right, I'm ready. Bruce, smile.
He's
Here he
getting out.
comes.
Look at him. Look at that
He's
man.
actually getting out of the vehicle, running around, doing the old fire drill. We'll take a picture of that as he gets back in and starts to drive off. We'll take a picture of that as well.
And you know he's got to move. He has no choice.
Yes.
Because behind him,
he's moving one way or another is
Right.
what's going to happen there if he decides he's not going to move.
it looks to me like a City of Elyria sanitation truck, but it's got the snowplow on front.
It does.
So we'll see what it is when it gets a little closer, but he's got no option here. He's going to have to move.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, the WEOL van here, it is very sturdy, very tough, but I don't think it's taken that on.
Nope. But the parade has moved along, and, you know, time-wise, they stepped off at about 5 minutes after 10. And here we are closing in on noontime, and everything is proceeding right on schedule.
Indeed it is. Folks starting to arrive now at Elyria High School on the end of the route. Pull off and come back down here to enjoy. That is just massive.
Actually, it's not a City of Elyria truck.
Yeah.
Lorain County Engineer's Office.
Oh, wow.
It's a county truck. The Steel Warriors there. If you can hear them in the background, I can.
Still getting those motorcycles revved up. Beautiful sound to some.
Yep. So they are ready for, I don't want to say the word winter, but I just did.
Not yet. Let's worry about fall here.
Okay.
They've got the big thing in the back, too, to carry all the salt.
Followed by Northwest Limousine. Several vehicles. 3. One is a Lincoln Continental Stretch. town car. How they make those things, I have no idea. But you can pack a lot of people in there in comfort.
Yeah, fascinating.
Then you've got a Mercedes-Benz van limousine, huge.
Rode around in one of those, the Punchki call, or whatever they call that over at the Chronicle Telegram, with Bruce Bishop. Lisa Roberson was there as well.
You had one that size?
We did, and we had a magician in the back too, who blew my mind. Believe it or not. Yeah, a magician. You can see it all. Facebook page, AM 930 WEOL. It's somewhere in there. Might be a little buried at this point, but you can find it.
Now we move on to the city of Elyria. Forestry Department truck coming by. Kind of a large white pickup, followed by one of the trash haulers, and an ambulance, an historic ambulance. I'm going to go back, I want to say 19... Oh, wow. What do we have there? 63 on the license plate, a 63 Cadillac ambulance. You know, before we had the kind of modern-day square ambulances, we had big station wagons. A life care ambulance. 1956.
That has to be fascinating, thinking about the times, people working back there trying to keep someone alive, and what a small little space, and right next to it you have the New Age ambulance, which seems a lot more efficient for working on somebody.
Making history then and now, right there by Life Care.
Fit in perfectly with the theme.
Vinny's Collision Center is up next, and Matt, I'm not exactly sure if I'm ever going to have my car decorated that way, but it's got flames on the hood.
I like it. I've thought about it before, Craig. I just don't know that I can pull it off quite the way Vinny's Collision Center does. There's another car. Boy, I don't know what Bruce did to get all these big, heavy cars behind him, but he's got no choice. He's got to move forward.
Parade heading down to Elyria High School. That's where people will disperse. Many of them will come back to Ely Square for a 12:30 ceremony. And I think, Matt, we're pretty much on target. I think that'll happen at 12:30.
I think it's going to happen. It looks like we're just about ready to round the parade out here, as a matter of fact.
City of Elyria Safety Service Department in a white vehicle, white SUV, followed by a black SUV from Elyria Police. Mary Sawerka, Safety Service Director, going by. Hi, Mary. How are you? Good to see you. Followed by Life Care.
A medical team out and about.
Yep, they're ready. If you need a gurney, they've got one.
Indeed, they do. Keeping everybody healthy here today.
And here comes the police car, the final police car, and that puts a wrap on our parade today. We would also like to thank our engineer, Terry Zevnik, our studio engineer, Tim Gratton, and Jared Kozar for making this broadcast possible as well. And from the city of Elyria, Ginny Hawes, Scott Bozaleski, Kevin Brubaker, and of course, Mayor Holly Brenda. We have been proud to be part of the Bicentennial Parade, as they say, Matt, 200 years in the making.
Yeah, it was a heck of a time. And for folks who want to check this out, I believe, Craig, you and I are going to be on the YouTube page for the Elyria City. They'll have that up and running. You can see the video. Bob Schlenbaker was shooting the video. You can see us here on things. And make sure to check his business out, bschlen@yahoo.com. And you can get some recruiting videos as well if you're an athlete.